Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're looking for some spring nail inspo, this video is definitely going to be for you. We're going to take a look back at some of my favorite spring sets that I've done over the past few years here on my channel. Stay tuned, I have some new fresh spring manis coming your way over the next few weeks. Alright, so let's get into that first mani, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from 915 Aesthetics. We're going to be diving into some really fun new colors that were recently released from the Sea Glass collection. We're also going to be playing with the dip liquids as well, so we're using all dip liquids. We are not going to be using any gels for today's mani. I really like the bottle as well. For the dip liquids, they're really heavy. They have a stopper in there. All right, so for the mani and what we're doing today, we're going to keep it really fun so you can really see 5 beautiful sea glass colors in action. I didn't know what colors I wanted to use first, so I was like, we're going to pick 5 and we're going to do like a spring sea glass kind of mani today. So that is what we're doing. So I'm doing a very thin layer of dip base on the nail, and we're diving right into Shasta Keys, and it is really, really fun. So sea glass dips, oh my gosh, they are so fun. If you've never tried one, now is going to be the time because there's a couple reasons why. So they're really beautiful. They're perfect for this time of year, for spring, getting you into summer. I mean, to be honest, you can really rock a sea glass color any time of year. They're really pretty. They're very buildable. So it is technically like a solid color, but it has a translucentness to it, which gives it that really beautiful sea glass effect. Now, when you're using dip liquids, you're going to get more of like that true sea glass effect. If you're using gels, you're going to get more of like a frosted kind of sea glass effect. So you're going to kind of get 2 different ways that you could utilize these powders. So today we're going to be doing the mani today with the dip liquids because I really wanted like that really just true crystal clear sea glass finish. So that's what we're doing. So right now we are into our second dip here. You can see we build up that beautiful color right here, and just for kicks, I'm gonna go ahead and do a third dip on this nail only. I love it as it is right here, but I was just kind of curious on what it would look like and if it would kind of keep that still pure translucent color if we dipped into a third layer. Also, can we have a minute for this brush? I love the brush on the dip base. I love how it fans out. Also, the formula, it's a very thin consistency, which I prefer with my dip liquids. These liquids are awesome. So we went ahead and dipped in now for a third time, gently pressing everything down. You can see here that the color is definitely a little bit brighter, but yet it's still pulling in that translucentness. That's exactly what we want. So it's still held true to that sea glass formula with a third dip. So the rest of the nails, we're gonna just go ahead and do 2 dips on them, but I really wanted to show you that these are really buildable, and you can either rock 1 dip, you can do 2, or even build it up to 3. You're going to be able to do a lot of different things with this. These are also a really awesome background, not only for a solid nail set that we're doing today, but these are really awesome for like nail art as well. But look at that 1 dip right there. That even looks good on its own, but you're really going to see these colors kind of take a life on its own and kind of transform themselves into that beautiful sea glass effect when we get into that activation process. So stay tuned for that. That's really when you're going to see these colors just like become the full potential when we get into the activation process. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into these beautiful colors here and see them in action, and then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit. All right, so we're just finishing up the filing and buffing. Filing and buffing was super easy. I just did a light buff and a light file. That is all I needed to do. Also, we did not do a clear barrier on top of these nails by encapsulating. And even though we didn't do that and I went in and filed and buff, I did not disrupt these powders. They stayed true to color. So definitely great quality when it comes to 915 aesthetics. Now to seal in all those powders after filing and buffing, I'm just doing a layer of activator. I'm going to let that sit for about 45 seconds. Then I'm going to go in with a lint-free wipe and just make sure I'm taking time to remove any extra activator that may be lingering behind on that nail. This is definitely an important step. If you ever miss this step and went directly in with your dip top coat and your brush got immediately hard, that is because you may have forgot to wipe off any extra activator that may be left behind on the nail. And that's like the worst part is like when you go in with your just got done with your mani and you go in to finish it up with your dip top coat and then your brush starts to harden like the third nail in. But just make sure you're taking time in doing that lint-free wipe process there. Okay, so we're diving into the top coat here. Now, like a few days ago on the 915 Aesthetics Facebook group, someone posted a mani, and in the comments someone asked, is that shine from the top coat? And the person that posted the picture said yes. And I was like, okay, that shine is everything. So I was like, okay, we're really gonna see the shine come to life by using these colors. So I was super excited to see if we were gonna get that really beautiful shine that I saw in that picture. Spoiler alert, the shine that you get from these top coats from 915 Aesthetics is unreal. I've never seen a shine like this with a dip top coat ever. So I don't know what kind of magic is in this top coat, but it is amazing. If you love a good shine and love dip liquids, definitely give these liquids a whirl because they are pretty amazing from the viscosity and to like that really thin consistency from that dip base to the top coat of the shine. These are pretty awesome. All right, so we're just finishing up now. So that first coat you do, you just go ahead and do 3 to 4 quick swipes. And then when you go in with your second coat of top coat, you can be more precise on your application. But here's the finished mani. I love this so much. You can see here, it is definitely the perfect sea glass colors. I will say I have used other sea glass colors from other brands, and these by far are the best. It's really hard to get this formula right, and this formula is definitely perfection. Sometimes if you're adding too much clear, it can definitely look super cloudy, not giving you like that perfect sea glass look like you see here. These are fantastic. I really, really like too how we use 5 colors here to kind of get us ready for spring. For spring breaks coming up, these would be really fun. You would have like really fun spring break sea glass nails. You can do a lot of different mermaid things with this. There's also coordinating glitters. We're going to dive more into these beautiful powders and different pairings throughout the rest of the month, so stay tuned for that, but definitely check these out. Now, if these colors were not your cup of tea, head over to 915 Aesthetics. There are tons of other beautiful colors from solids to obviously these beautiful sea glasses and glitters. You're definitely going to find something that catches your eye. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from a brand that I have never tried before. We're going to create a set of press-ons today on the shape medium almond. Super excited to dive into these powders, and we're also going to be using dip liquids today. So we are not using any gels for this entire mani. I figured since I never tried this brand before, CN Designer Dips, I only figured that it would be fair to do a first impressions and really just bring them to the full potential by using dip liquids instead of using the gel method. For liquids today, we are using dip liquids from Sparkle & Co. I did touch these powders before I went ahead and put gloves on, and the powders are very velvety soft, so if you are dipping right into the jar, it is that like buttery soft powder formula. They're very finely milled. So right off the bat here, I'm already loving the coverage that I'm seeing on this nail here. It is not patchy, it's not streaky. It is a very beautiful, just delicate, almost kind of like a milky white with like the perfect touch of sparkle. So if you already have like that structure built up on your nail and you're looking for just like a one and done color, this might be for you. So we dusted off and it continued that same coverage when we dusted off. It's still looking really pretty. So already these powders are looking pretty promising in my opinion, but we still have a long way to go. We are just getting started. So I'm doing a very thin layer of dip base, and then technically I could dip directly into the jar itself, but I like having a little bit more wiggle room, so that is why I pour into that cupcake liner. Again, that's just an option. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mallory and I make press-on nails here, and I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And the main reason I love to create press-ons is because I feel like you can really see how a color or a powder can perform. Let's face it, there are tons of beautiful colors out there, and this right here, my channel, is a great way to see some beautiful colors in action, and then you can get a really good feel if a color is going to be right for you. So if you love everything about colors and dip powders, definitely consider staying a while. We do dabble into some gels as well once in a while, but overall, dip powders are pretty much my jam here. All right, so we're dusting off here and we're finishing up the pinky nail here. So we are doing 2 coats of each color so you can kind of see the color pay off with one dip, and then you can see how we're going to build up the color with a second coat here. And right now we're just going to go ahead and just press everything down, making sure everything is laying super flat before we move on. So that is the game plan for today. We're playing with some new colors. Now, I've been sitting on a lot of different brand colors for a while. The thing is like you see colors and then you buy them and then you kind of forget about them. And that's kind of what happened here when it came to C&D dips. I think the first color that I kind of gravitated towards, it's an oldie but a goodie. And you might, if you are a C&D dip person, you might know this one offhand. It is called Joker. It's a really beautiful glitter. That is kind of what made me pull the trigger like 3 years ago, and I've never even touched it yet, so stay tuned. We will be diving into that one next. All right, so now we're into Satin Sheets. It's a beautiful pinky mauve, but yet it has a very, very subtle shimmer to it. It is gorgeous. These are great neutral must-have colors. If you like pink, so this is a great pink tone because you have a little bit of mauve thrown in there. So it's not like just like that bright or just like that dull light pink. It has a little bit of punch to it with this beautiful color that we have going on here. And then you have that perfect touch of sparkle. But I'm really, really impressed with the coverage. I mean, we just dusted off that first coat and that nail, it is looking great. The coverage is everything. We don't have any bare spots, and the color is consistent through that first coat, which I love because that means that these powders are super blended and finely milled. So when you are dipping, you're not getting like patches of acrylic here and then just some color splotches over there. You're getting a true color when you're dipping into these powders. And that is something that I can really appreciate. That is one of the most frustrating things when you're playing with a dip powder and it's patchy, or you're picking up more acrylic than the actual powder itself, or you're picking up the color powder, but yet it has like dark patches in it because it wasn't finely milled. But these powders are definitely chef kiss, and we're not experiencing any of those bumps in the road, which is fantastic. All right, so now this color is getting more beautiful with that second coat here. It is pulling through all that beautiful pink here, and you can see here I am definitely spending some time pressing everything down. And if you are new to my channel or just starting press-ons, that is the biggest helpful tip I can give you for guidance when it comes to making press-ons, is making sure you are taking time to press everything down in between each coat. Even if you're doing the gel method, you really want to make sure that the powders and the liquids are keeping the shape of the desired press-on shape that you selected. If you're doing an almond like we're doing here, a stiletto, a coffin, a square, whatever shape you're working with, you want to make sure that those powders and the liquids are enhancing that shape and just changing the color, and you want to keep that shape. I mean, of course, you could always go in and file and buff and correct any areas, but in order to reduce bulk when you're making a press-on, it is definitely key to take time to make sure everything is pressed down. I cannot stress that enough. Pressing down everything and keeping the shape of the nail is definitely a game changer, and you're gonna see the difference. Now, I started making press-ons, I would say, oh man, we are in probably, I changed my channel completely to press-ons probably a little over a year and 8 months ago. And I've learned a lot as I grew as a content creator and making press-ons. Before, I was not taking that time to press everything down, and you can really see the difference. If you ever made a set of press-ons and it's really bulky, or it's not applying to your natural nail as well, or it's feeling tight, that would be an indicator that you might have potentially created too much bulk, and then it kind of changed the shape of that nail for you. But my biggest thing is just make sure everything is laying super flat. Also, another thing, a helpful tip when creating press-ons, is your liquids. Is the viscosity a thinner consistency? Thinner consistency is definitely key because that's also going to help reduce bulk. And if you're doing the gel method, a thinner gel. So those are my key points. We will dive into more tips and tricks here in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for that. All right, so now we're into the glitter. Now, I love a good glitter. It is everything. It's really pretty. It has like this color shiftiness to it, Kind of has a little bit of holographic shiftiness to it. Very beautiful base color. It's still pulling in that beautiful mauve pink. Now I debated. I was looking at this nail here and I was like, we could totally get away with one coat here. But I was like, okay, in all fairness, let's see what it looks like with a second coat. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to add another layer of dip base here and go in with a second dip. But this glitter right here is really, really beautiful. And you're going to be able to do a lot with this. You're going to be able to pair it with so many things. I feel like the color palette that we're playing with right here, it's great if you love neutrals. Wedding season is coming up, so if you want still like a pop of color, but a little bit muted, satin sheets is gonna be the way to go for you. And then you can still add a little bit of pop of bling here with the glitter that we're using. But overall, this color palette right here, it's fresh, it's light, but yet it's still beautiful in its own way. And even though all the colors that we use today have a little bit of shimmer in them, they're not too overpowering. They're just like a very elegant and delicate shimmer, which just really enhance the beauty of your nails, and it's going to give you a really flawless finish. All right, so since we're working with the glitter here, I spent some time pressing that down, and this is what we're working with here. I am loving the coverage. I am loving the sparkle. The coverage is definitely melting my whole heart. All right, so clear encapsulation. We're only going to clear encapsulate this nail right here because I wanted to try filing and buffing into the other nails to kind of see how that powder performs, and then if I did buff into it, did it change the powder? So that is my kind of experiment when I'm playing with a new brand. I kind of like to test the powder's limits. All right, so now that we went ahead and clear encapsulated that beautiful glitter, I'm just making sure that that nail, all the dip liquid is completely absorbed. And now we have this beautiful finish. And then to prevent any cloudiness, once that nail is completely dried, taking a stiff brush and really making sure any loose clear powder is completely lifted away from the nail before we go in with the activator. Because if you've ever went in with a clear over a chunky glitter or a glitter like we're working with today and just used like your normal brush that you dust off your powders in between coats, and then you went in with your activator and then you notice that nail wasn't as crystal clear or it was cloudy or hazy, that is because there was a little bit of clear powder left behind when you activated. So using that stiff brush is really just going to make that glitter nail crystal clear. So we're going to let that sit for about 2 minutes now that we applied the activator on all the nails. Then we're going to go in and file and buff. So this nail right here, satin sheets, we did not clear encapsulate. So right now I'm just working that file underneath the nail here, making sure that that underneath of that press on is completely smooth and there's not any powder or anything like that under it. So we have a really good transition to the natural nail. Then I'm just cleaning up the shape ever so gently here. Now after this step, I could have completely moved on and left this nail as is because everything is laying completely flat to the nail. There's no bumpiness or anything like that that needed to be smoothed down. It was looking fantastic, but I really wanted to see how these powders would perform without that clear protection. So we're going in with the buffer here, and I am just going in on that right on the surface there, and it is not distorting the powder. It's not putting any streaks in it. It is not taking away any of the pigment, leaving patchiness. It is looking great. And to make sure we did not disrupt that color, I'm going to go right in with the activator here so we can really see what we're working with. And you can see it's still holding all its beauty, and we have this beautiful pinky mauve finish with a very delicate sparkle kind of sprinkled in there. But I love that color so much, and it worked perfectly without any clear encapsulation. So a lot of times I will leave like my shimmers or my solids not clear encapsulated. I'll skip that part, especially when I'm making press-ons, because adding the clear is obviously going to add more powder to the nail, when in the end result you're going to be creating more bulk. So if I can kind of eliminate any of that extra bulk, I will definitely do that. So I will leave the clear encapsulation off of those powders. But with the glitter, I do not want to skip that step because I want to keep that glitter looking blingy and sparkly and just protect all its beauty. So we filed, and now we're going in with the buffer here. And I will say these powders are buffing and filing so nice. It is very easy to file and buff, and that's because we did very thin layers of dip base, and the quality of the powder is everything. So what we did now is we did the activator on this nail so we could see what we're working with here. And we have the perfect glitter accent nail right here. It is looking fantastic. We did not cut into any of those beautiful glitters. I did the rest of the filing and buffing and activator off camera. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on here to the top coat. But before we go in with the top coat, I'm gonna take a lint-free wipe and I'm gonna make sure I am rubbing off any extra activator that may be lingering on the nail. So after I file and buff, and normally I do the activator on all the nails at one time, but this time I really wanted to skip around so you could really see what the nails looked like in between the filing and buffing. But normally I leave the activator on for about 45 seconds and then I'll wipe off with that lint-free wipe. Then to finish up this mani today, we're not doing a gel top coat, we're using dip liquids. So that first coat I am just doing about 3 to 4 swipes on the nail. You don't need to be too precise. You just want to make sure you are covering that nail. And then when we go in with the second coat, we will get more precise with our application. And then after each coat, I am going to wipe off the brush on a paper towel just to make sure I am not getting any extra activator that may be lingering behind on that nail into that bottle, just to make sure I'm not cross-contaminating my liquids. And now we're going in with a more precise application for the second go around. This time you can take your time, really make sure you're applying that top coat exactly where you want it. And I did the rest of the top coat off camera, and here's the finished mani. It's a very delicate, beautiful color palette. It's soft, but yet it still has the right amount of sparkle. I will say these powders are very beginner friendly. Based on the full coverage, they were really easy to file and buff. They are super buttery and soft. Definitely recommend trying this brand from CN Designer Dips. If you have tried this brand before, let me know in the comments what your must-have colors are so I can check them out. Everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed this simple mani and diving into a company that I never tried before. I don't know what took me so long to try these. I'm a little disappointed that it took me a few years to finally get around to trying this brand, but I'm completely in love with it. So stay tuned. We will be playing with more CN Designer dips here on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be playing with gels from Sundara Nails. We're going to be creating a spring flower mani on a set of press-ons in the shape medium almond. But before we get into that flower gel, we're going to play with a little bit of a sparkle polish right here. This is Jewel and it's so pretty. It is part of the diamond collection and it's just like the most beautiful cram-packed micro reflective, just like the perfect diamond dust glitter that you've ever seen. And it's so pretty. The sparkle is definitely there. The camera is not doing this color justice because this color is everything. So that's what the first coat looks like. It has like this hue of like a blue base and then it carries in all that beautiful sparkle. So when you are playing with these, the formula is a tad bit thicker than like your standard traditional like color from Sundara Nails, like a solid or just like a slight shimmer or pearl. So it has a little bit of a thickness to it, which is really easy to work with. You're just gonna go ahead and cover that entire nail. But before you cure, just go ahead and let that nail just sit so it can just self-level a little bit and all those glitters will lay super flat, then cure for 30 seconds and it's gonna give you a really effortless, flawless finish. These are really easy to work with. Do not let just like that tad bit of a thicker formula trip you up because these glitters are so rewarding and the sparkle is everything. They're very, very easy to use, and if you love glitter, any of these colors from the Diamond Collection are definitely going to be your jam. So right now we are going to go in with a second coat here, and that's when you're really going to see like this beautiful color just come to life and the sparkle gets even better. I know you're like, how can it get any better? But we're layering more of those beautiful like micro glitters onto this nail here it's going to give you tons of different dimension, whatever way the light hits it. And check it out. It is so pretty. I love it so much. 2 coats is definitely key when you're playing with these, just to build up that color. Like you can see here, the 2 coats versus 1, and it's going to build up that beautiful, beautiful sparkle. And this color right here, it's perfect for any time of year, but I wanted to do like pull in some blues and really play with these flower gels today. So I figured this color right here was the right amount of sparkle that we needed to go with our really pretty delicate flower mani today. But you could pair any glitter with this mani that we're doing right now. If you love pinks, you could definitely pull in some pinks. Whatever glitter you go with, options are definitely going to be endless. These are also really great for any kind of nail art as well because it has like those fine glitters, and since it's such a saturated formula with those glitters, it's going to give you a really nice pickup when you are using your nail art brush to do a little bit of nail art with these. All right, so this is what we're working with. We're jumping right into Blue Moon. Blue Moon it's pretty magical in itself. I love the solid colors from Sundara Nails. They're very, very opaque, great coverage on the first coat. And the Moon collection I really like because it's a white base, but yet it has a slight hint of color to it. So this one right here has a slight blueness to it. And so you have like that beautiful white base, which is perfect for like any nail art or adding the flowers like we're doing today. And then you have like that slight blue hue kind of just coming through. So we're going to cure for 30 seconds. And since I really like the coverage and how the application applied, we're only going to do one coat of Blue Moon today. If you wanted to build it up, or if you're looking to build up strength and you're not making a set of press-ons and you're doing this on your natural nail, you definitely could go in with two. But I love the coverage of these Moon polishes, and one is all we needed. All right, so we cured. Here's what we're working with. This looks good just by itself, but now it's time to add some of those flowers. All right, so the gel is in a pot. This pot is really beautiful, and then you can see it has this beautiful blueness to it, and then we have some blue flowers. So right now I want to show you the consistency of this. We're going to be using a flat brush as well from Sundara Nails, but the consistency of this, it's a very thin consistency, and a little bit will go a long way. This is something that you want to work with in small amounts and build it up. I'm going to show you how we're going to apply it here in just a minute, but it's really, really fun. Let me just tell you that. If you love gels and you play with gels all the time, and then, you know, like that glitter was just a tad bit thicker, and now we're playing with something that's a little bit thinner, it's just really fun to play with like different viscosities. So right now I'm taking a little bit of that product on the flat brush and just a little bead here, and then I'm going in a circular motion here to apply it. The circular motion, you're just like lightly hovering over the product onto the nail and just kind of using that circular motion to just gently glide the product on the entire nail. That's the method that works best for me when applying this, especially with that thin viscosity, because what's going to happen if you went in and just went ahead and brushed it, you're going to get some patchy streaks, and then you're not going to get that full potential of the flower petals that we're looking at right now. So this is really fun. You have like flower petals, you have stems, you have leaves. It's just really pretty and a delicate formula. So I'm going to keep right now just building that up here and just doing those circular motions until I'm satisfied with the coverage here. And again, a little bit of the product goes a long way. Now, this is like a clear blue base, so if you wanted to do this without any like base color, you definitely could. It would just be more of a lighter, less dramatic effect versus how we have like that Blue Moon as the base here. But options are endless when you're playing with this. So I'm going to continue building it up here, and I'm focusing that product on the middle here, and I'm just doing little beads here. And every time I go into that jar and pick up some more product, I am picking up more of those flowers here. Now I'm going to show you another way here because I don't want to make this nail too bulky, because what's going to happen is that if we keep adding more of this product, since it is such a thin consistency, we're really going to pull up that nail, and then it's going to just, you know, naturally kind of go down on the nail and kind of give you some bulk. So to prevent that and prevent building up any more of that product, I took a little bit of that product and put it on a paper towel. And now what I'm doing is that paper towel is absorbing that gel product, and then I can really just focus on the flower elements that are in this jar. So now I'm using an orange wood stick. I am using that cuticle pusher side of the orange wood stick, and I am just gently picking up those flowers here, and then I can just fill in areas on the nail where I want to focus on more of those flowers. I will say this formula is really easy to work with once you get the hang of how to apply it. Now, before you go in and start using the product on your manicure that you just spent time on, you could always practice on a swatch stick or practice on, I'm using jelly tips right now for our press-on set, but the sizes that you don't use, you could also practice on that, just so you could practice like gliding and hovering that product over the nail. But once you get the hang of it, it is super easy to use, and I really like just like those, like the effect of like the beautiful flowers. It's something different, and I really like it. And you wouldn't think that these flowers, since they do have a little bit of dimension to them, that they you would think they would kind of like stick up in the nail, but everything is just laying super flat. It's a very magical experience. So now that we added those flowers, I'm going to go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds, and we're going to dive into the other nail. So for this nail, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to pick up a bigger bead of product, and this time we're going to work with a bigger bead. So the first nail that we did, we worked with smaller beads and then slowly built up that nail. This time we're working with a bigger bead, and I started right below the cuticle line, and I am just working that product down on the nail. Again, you are just gliding in a circular motion that product on the nail, and you're filling in all those areas with a very delicate hand, and the swirling motion is definitely key when you are working with this formula. I will say I do like both ways. So this way we added a bigger bead, and you can see we have more coverage of that product and it took less time. But I do like picking up the smaller beads and working my way down on the nail, because when you are picking up those smaller beads, you are getting more of those flower elements on the nail. But either way, we're still going to go ahead and hand place more of those flower pieces onto the nail to just fill in those areas. But overall, a really fun product. All right, so let's finish up this nail here, and then I'm going to pop back in just a few moments. All right, we're just wrapping up the hand placement here of those flowers. We're gonna go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. And then after we cure, we're gonna go ahead and finish up this mani with a layer of gel top coat. I personally do not experience any flaking or peeling if I just go in with a layer of gel top coat and cure for 60 seconds. But if you do experience flaking or peeling, go in with a layer of gel base, cure for 30 seconds, then finish up with your top coat. I did the rest of the nails off camera. And then here's our finished mani. It is sparkly, it is flowery, it is full of spring. I love this blue carried through. It's definitely giving me the spring blue kind of vibes here. And those flowers are so pretty. There's something about glitter and flowers combined, just like melting my whole heart right now. But a very easy mani. The only thing a little bit tedious that we did today was just hand placing those flowers, but overall so fun and definitely rewarding. I really liked how this mani turned out. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be playing with brand new colors from 915 Aesthetics, and we're also going to be creating a set of press-ons today on the shape Short Coffin And we are going to be using dip liquids today from 915 Aesthetics. Then we're going to seal in the mani with a gel top coat at the end. But we're going to start off with limoncello. We're going to give it a good stir, and then we're going to go right in today with a very thin layer of that dip base. Now this yellow right here, limoncello, this right here, it is the perfect light soft yellow. Now when you're working with lighter tone yellows or pastel colors, sometimes the yellows can have like this really harsh white flashback to it, or look really splotchy, or have like this like chalky kind of ness to it. This yellow right here, you can already see with the dip liquids, it has the perfect soft yellow color to it, and the coverage is fantastic. I'm just gently pressing everything down here before that dip base dries, just to make sure everything is kind of laying super flat. Even if I'm not working with a glitter, I will just go ahead and just press everything down. That really helps reduce any bulk for me, and then I just know everything is just laying super flat. The coverage that you're getting right here with that first coat with limoncello, it is everything. I am always searching for that perfect like soft yellow, and this is it. This is definitely it, just based on the coverage alone, and it's like that pure true soft yellow. Plus these colors right here that 915 Aesthetics just released, there are 6 beautiful like pastel colors, but there's a twist to them because they're bright, they're bold, they're beautiful, but yet they're still pulling in that soft pastel colors. And then there's 5 glitters as well. So if you get this collection, you can either pick and choose the colors individually. You could get all the colors, so the 6 solids and then the 5 glitters, and then you're pretty much going to be good to go for spring, transitioning into summer, because these colors are perfect to get you through summer as well. And you're going to have tons of different options when it comes to these new colors. So we're going to go ahead and dust off. And this little brush that I just used is also from 915 Aesthetics. So you're going to see this color. I mean, it looks beautiful. We have some really amazing coverage with that first coat, but you're really going to see this color come to life even more with that second coat. And this is a really finely milled powder, so you can definitely build it up from 2 dips like we're doing today. You could do 3, you could do 4 if you're building up apex and structure. Since it's so finely milled, you don't really need to worry about it becoming too bulky, as long as you focus on your dip liquid application and making sure that those layers are super thin. But very pretty. I love this yellow. You can see here with that second coat there, it is just like the perfect soft, but yet still has a pop of brightness to it. Beautiful yellow. And I'm just going to go ahead and press everything down here. And then I'm going to show you the difference here of the 2 dips versus 1, so you can really see that different color payoff. But beautiful, not patchy, not streaky at all. And you can really see here that color difference right here with the 2 dips versus 1. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing 2 dips of each color here. And I cannot get over limoncello. The moment I saw these 3 colors that we're using today, I knew we had to use them together. They were just like screaming my name, and I totally gravitated towards them immediately, especially when I saw that glitter Bella that you're going to see in action in just a little bit. You're going to see how they complement each other so well. So we're finishing up with limoncello, and we are going to end up playing with even more colors from the new 915 Aesthetics release. The next video for 915 Aesthetics is scheduled for next week, Monday. So definitely make sure you subscribe and hang in there for that next video from 915 Aesthetics, because we're going to end up playing with more beautiful colors. So we're just wrapping up limoncello, and now we're diving in to mango, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to give it a good little fluffy stir here. Now mango has a special place in my heart because to me, this color right here, mango, it screams to me the color of summer. There's just something about this family of like pinky coral colors that I gravitate towards. I really like how this is like a softer side of coral, but I love a good bright coral as well. And it could have like that orange undertone to it or a pink undertone in that beautiful coral. But this right here, it is everything, and it's just the right amount of coral that I needed to kind of, get my feet wet when it comes to those brighter colors, but so beautiful. And you can see here with that first coat, it is just great coverage. Again, it's still pulling that same beautiful formula of not chalky or patchy or anything like that. This dust brush is everything. I love it so much, and it's retractable too, so you could store it really easily. So that is definitely a plus. So now we're going in with another thin layer of dip base, and before I go ahead and stick that brush back in the bottle, I do wipe it off on a piece of paper towel just to make sure that I'm not cross-contaminating my dip liquids. I want to make sure that they last as long as possible. All right, so the second coat, it gets even better. So this is when you get like that more rich pop of color mixed in with there, but yet it still carries through that like simplicity of like that lightness coming through. But overall, so pretty, great color, and it's not patchy or streaky or anything. Just overall a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color. And the combination of limoncello and mango together is everything. And if you just like love a one color mani, this would be great too, even with a matte finish. So there's another option. So the star of the show, Bella, check it out. And we're gonna get real up close right here. Check it out. It has yellows. It has like that beautiful pink that's kind of pulling the same mango color. And it has fine glitters mixed in with some chunky glitter. Overall, it's beautiful. It also has like this like white, almost kind of like a matte glitter in there as well. But yet it has like a little bit of like an ethereal shine to it. It's a very unique but yet beautiful glitter, and I will tell you right here, this is by far one of the easiest glitters I have worked with in a long time, and I was so excited about it. So I'm using dip liquid, so I kind of want to work a little bit fast because I don't have like that ease of just like making sure everything is laying flat with the gel method, because the dip liquids, these are about a medium fast dry time. So you could see there we dipped in the cupcake liner. I showed you what it looked like, but now we are cleaning up the nail by just pressing everything down. So we're still able to press everything down, make sure everything is laying flat, and then I'm just going to go ahead and give it another dip just to make sure we're really absorbing all of that dip base. And then I am still going to clean up the sidewalls. So the medium fast dry time, it's great if you are not making a press on and you are dipping into that jar on your finger or your whatever enhancement you're using. You're still going to be able to dip. You're going to be able to just gently press everything down, clean up that cuticle line. You're not going to have any problems. But right there, I mean, how flat those glitters were laying, I was very impressed by that. So we're gonna go ahead and do another accent nail of that beautiful glitter on our ring finger here. Now I wanted to tie in some more glitter and kind of get more kind of extravagant with this mani, but I really like the simplicity behind all of the simple colors, because we have that beautiful soft yellow, we have that mango color, and I felt like the glitter really kind of just like enhanced the mani on its own in its like own simple way, if that makes sense, because this glitter kind of tied in all of the colors for me to just give it, it's simple, but yet it still gives it that pop of like beautiful subtle sparkle, if that makes sense. But I love it so much. So I'm just pressing everything down here, making sure I can get everything as flat as I can be, because you know me, the less filing and buffing I can do, the better for me. So look at that. Everything is laying so flat. We're going to dust off and we're going to go in with another full dip. So normally when I'm playing glitters like this, I do not want to create like any bulk or anything like that. So what I'll do is I'll just like hand place a whole bunch of glitters, even though that takes time, but then that helps reduce bulk as well. But this one, after I was playing with it and I saw how it performed with that first coat, I felt confident that we were just going to go ahead and dip back into that cupcake liner because of just like how that performed that first go around and everything was laying super flat. So right here, you can see we have even more color shining through on that second dip here. So we're going to do the exact same thing, gently press everything down here and really just take your time to make sure everything is laying super flat, especially on those sidewalls and the free edge when you are making press-ons, because that's going to be the first area where you're going to start bulking up is on those sidewalls right here where I'm cleaning up. You want to make sure that area is as flat as can be to keep that nail the same shape and just to make sure that we're not creating any extra bulk. I mean, you can always go ahead and reduce any bulk that you may add onto the nail during the filing and buffing, but that is going to take you a hot minute. But just pressing everything down really just does truly simplify the whole process, and it really helps keep the shape of that nail. So the press-ons that I am using, they are from Sundara Nails. They're a soft jelly tip, They're very comfortable, and it is in the shape short coffin. I do not trim it. I do not, file it any differently. I just pull it right out of the box, put it on the stand, and then we start dipping. So I do not cut it or anything like that. So me pressing everything down really just holds that shape. All right, so back to this glitter here. It is laying so flat. I'm completely blown away by the coverage and how flat it is laying. So you can see the difference here. That second coat, it is just everything. I mean, it doesn't look bad with the first coat. If you wanted like that sheer, like delicate sparkle, you definitely can get away with just that one coat. But there's just something about when you dip into that second coat, it just totally brings it to life. And I really love how just like the yellow combination with like that mango color, just that combination, and then it has like the white in there, it gives the nail a lot of different dimension. And I really like how it has the fine glitters coming through mixed in. It's like the right amount of fine glitters and the right amount of like larger glitters, and it's just giving the right amount of dimension. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean everything up here. We are almost done with today's very simple mani here, but just pressing everything down, and then we will go ahead and clear encapsulate here in just a little bit. But if you've ever struggled with a chunky glitter, these glitters right here are going to be your go-to. I mean, they're perfect for summer. They're kind of giving me, when you look at the glitters and the colors in general, it kind of is giving me like ice cream truck kind of vibe. That was like the first thing when I saw the sneak peek on the Facebook group, that was like the first thing that came to my mind was like ice cream truck. I don't know why, but I think because it's like a play on the brightness of colors mixed in with the pastels, but that's where my mind went. So we are doing a layer of dip base on the nail, and then we're dipping into that clear here, and I'm just making sure that that nail is kind of hanging out in that jar, kind of just absorbing as much clear as possible. I feel like the longer I keep the nail in, the better result I have to making sure that all that dip base is completely absorbed and we have a really good foundation of protection on those glitters when it comes to filing and buffing. I will say I am pretty heavy-handed when it comes to filing and buffing, so I do like to make sure I have a really good barrier of protection on top of my glitters. So just letting that nail kind of just marinate, I say that all the time, marinate in that clear for a few seconds. I say I leave it in there for about 8 seconds or so, just really just helps all that dip base kind of absorb, and you're gonna get a really good even coverage foundation protection when it comes to those beautiful glitters. And even though it is a clear dip powder, I am still pressing everything down, making sure everything is just super flat, especially right there on the sides, because I do not want to create any more bulk. And then I am dipping back into that clear just as an extra precaution to make sure everything is absorbed. And then that is all I did for the clear encapsulation. I did not clear encapsulate the solids because I really wanted to test those out during filing and buffing to see how they would perform, and that could have been a gamble, but spoiler alert, I did not have any issues when it came to filing and buffing those solids without a clear. So I'm taking a stiff brush here and I am making sure I am really working off that extra clear dip powder before we go in with the activator, so we have a really good crystal clean finish. And now we're going in with a generous amount of activator. I am making sure that those nails are completely saturated, especially those glitter nails, because I want to make sure all that activator kind of penetrates through all those glitter layers to really harden. And we're almost to the finish line. We're wrapping up here. We're going to do a little bit of filing and buffing. I'm only going to show you this one nail here on camera, but I'm making sure I'm angling that file directly underneath that press-on to make sure that I'm cleaning up any powder that may be on that nail, just so we have a really good, clean, even surface when it comes to applying that press-on. And I will say, this glitter right here was super easy. Not only was it a great application in itself, but it was really awesome to file and buff too. It was a breeze to file and buff, and I did not have any issues when I was buffing into those solid colors without any clear. They stayed true to color. They did not have like a white like dinge to them or anything like that. They definitely stayed true to color. So I am going to do the rest of the filing and buffing on the rest of the nails off camera just to save some time today. And even though I am going to finish up the mani with a layer of gel top coat, totally optional, you can go in with dip liquids as well, I'm still going to go in with a layer of activator just to seal in all the nails. It's also going to get rid of any of those harsh filing lines. And then to seal in the mani today, I'm going to go in with a layer of gel top coat, and then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds. Now, if you ever experience any flaking or peeling, definitely do your gel base first, cure, then go in with your top coat. And then here's the finished mani. It is the right amount of brightness and softness all in one. I will say that glitter that we used, it is so beautiful. It kind of just totally transformed the whole mani for me because it ties in all the colors into one. Also, it's a very subtle glitter, and what I mean by that, it's not like this harsh, blingy, in your face, blinding glitter. It's just like a very soft, but yet it still has like the right amount of sparkle. It's just overall such a beautiful glitter, and it just really complements all the colors from the limoncello and that beautiful mango all in one. I just love it so much. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I cannot wait to dive into more of these new colors from 915 Aesthetics, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Madkin Beauty. We're going to be creating a spring mani with a little touch of Easter today. We're going to apply just like a little Easter sticker today just to kind of give it that little Easter kind of twist. So we're starting off today. We're going to use some pastel colors. We're using dip liquids, and we're also making a set of press-ons on the shape Short Coffin. And everything that we are using in today's video can always be found in that description box below. So this yellow, it's really beautiful. The coverage is great. I really like this yellow. It's very soft, and it's not like that chalky pastel yellow. It just has like a beautiful undertone to it. It's a really beautiful, just like great coverage and not patchy or streaky yellow. It's definitely a great soft yellow. If you're in the market for a beautiful like spring kind of yellow, this is going to be your jam. So we're going to keep it fairly simple today, and we're just going to have like kind of like these colors be the star of its show on their own, because when you see that glitter that we're going to be diving into in just a little bit, you're going to see that glitter kind of needed its own little moment. It's really fun. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. So let's dive into these solid colors here, and then I'm going to pop back in just a few moments when it's time to dive into that Easter glitter.
Every guy I've met, we fell in love at a bad time. Getting insecure, questioning myself on the way down. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. Right now I need to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down, but I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. One stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Grandpa used to ask why I'm single with such a pretty face. Where is your man? You should go out and chase him. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. So now I'm about to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down, but I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster.
All right, so now we're diving into this beautiful glitter. It is called For My Peeps. It's very appropriate for Easter. I love the name so much. So this is a really fun glitter, and it has just like those pops of spring color, of the pinks, the blues, and the yellow. And I really like how it's a circular glitter. So you have like larger circles, smaller, medium. So right now I'm not too concerned. I'm just kind of building up the structure on the nail, so I'm not too concerned that I did not pick up that many pieces of glitter. That's okay on that first dip. It's also going to help reduce bulk if you do not pick up so many pieces of that glitter. And then I'm just going to remove any larger pieces of glitter away from the sidewall, the free edge, and then just gently press everything down. So here, you can see when I brushed off, I did brush off most of those glitters. So what I would do to prevent that, because it worked out way better on the second nail, is I would have just let that nail kind of like sit for a minute and make sure that base was completely like 100% dry, and then start dipping on that other nail and then go back to that. That method seemed to work best. Just letting those glitters kind of like hang out for a minute and marinate on the nail. That worked out best. So you'll see that in here in just a little bit. We will wait to go ahead on that second dip when we get onto the other nail, and the outcome was way better. So now we went ahead and dipped into this glitter again, and you can see here we picked up even more glitters. So I'm just making sure everything is laying super flat. I will say this glitter for me was the first time I've ever used it, and it was a little bit of like just like playing around with it and seeing what worked best. So right now we're going to go ahead and start dipping onto this other nail here. I'm going to go ahead and just press everything down on this nail right here. And then instead of dusting it off right away, we're just going to leave that nail on the stand and let those glitters just kind of become one with itself. And then right here, I was originally going to go ahead and hand place glitters, but I was like, okay, let's dip it in for a third time. And normally that is not like how I roll with glitters. It's minimum two, just because like I really want to prevent any kind of like bulking or anything like that. But these glitters are super fine. So I was like, I felt comfortable going in with a third dip just to see what we were going to pick up. So I love the placement, but I really wanted more circles. The more circular glitter we could get on here, the better. So we are going to end up hand placing more. All right, so I dusted off, and now we're going back in with the dip base, and you can see here those glitters did not budge. So key is just let those glitters kind of just stay on that nail as long as possible before you brush off, and then start building up. That's what worked best for me when it came to this glitter in particular. All right, so you can see here we have the majority of the glitter really hanging out by the sidewalls and the free edge there. So I'm just going to make sure I'm taking time to make sure that those are completely away from that cuticle line. And then we're going to go ahead and just continue to press everything down. And you might have noticed that sometimes when we're pressing those glitters down, I do go ahead and dip that nail back into that jar of powder. That's because I want to go ahead and absorb any of those dip liquids that may be left behind. An indicator that you still have some dip liquids that need to be absorbed is that when you're pressing down, it gets super stringy, or your finger is like sticking onto that nail. So that's an indicator to just go ahead and dip that nail back into the jar there. So now that that other nail is just hanging out, resting, we're going to finish up this nail by applying a layer of dip base, and we're hand placing some circular glitters here. I will say I do love this glitter mix. I think it's just different, and the shape is different. You don't really see a lot of circular glitters. Normally like they're like that standard hexagon shaped glitter. So I can really just appreciate the change of pace by playing with these glitters. So I'm just hand placing, no rhyme or reason. I was just using the glitters that were just fallen off from brushing off first, and then I just took a little scoop out there, and we're going to go ahead and just hand place some of the smaller pieces of glitter by the cuticle line area, and then we're just going to fill in some gaps here just to kind of just tie in this mani completely. Now this step is totally optional. You could definitely leave the nail as is, how you dipped organically and however it came out. You could rock it like that, or you could go ahead and just add a few more pieces of glitter, or you could totally go crazy and just layer this nail completely with tons of glitter, and you're gonna get a super awesome effect. So now that I hand placed the glitter on the other nail, we're gonna do the exact same thing here. We're gonna do a third dip on this nail, and this time you can see here we picked up tons of beautiful glitter on that third dip. So I'm just going to make sure that we're removing any large pieces of glitter away from that cuticle line, the free edge, and we're going to just spend some time here making sure everything is laying super, super flat. I'm going to use that orange wood stick here and just make sure I'm cleaning up those sidewalls and just spending time to press everything down. And then I did not really need to hand place much glitter on that other nail. I just plopped like 2 up by that cuticle line. And now we're going to go ahead and clear encapsulate the nail here. I just did a layer of dip base, and I'm really making sure that that dip base is absorbing into all those glitters and just making sure that I am just pressing everything down, because we are going to be filing and buffing on this nail pretty aggressively to get it reshaped, and just having everything laying super flat. And I know personally that I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to filing and buffing, so I really want to make sure that I took extra time when it came to clear encapsulating, making sure I was getting into all those nooks and crannies with the dip base, and then just really making sure that I absorbed into that clear. So right here, you can see here, this nail had tons of glitter on it. So I'm really gonna work that brush into all those nooks and crannies here by wiggling that brush around and just getting it completely saturated with that dip base. It's a very thin layer, but I'm just making sure that everything is really covered. And then I'm going to dip into that clear here, tap everything off, and then just gently press everything down here just to make sure all those beautiful glitters are covered. I love this nail so much. It's also kind of giving me like a tie-dyed effect. I love it. I love the colors so, so much. I'm going to go ahead and drip back into that clear here, and we're just going to continue pressing everything down. But overall, a very easy glitter to work with. So this glitter is going to be like the star to our show here. And then we have like these beautiful soft colors just to tie in everything together. But overall, I love it so, so much. So now I'm going to go ahead and use a stiff brush and go ahead and brush off any clear dip powder before we go ahead and activate. What that's going to do is that stiff brush is going to give you more of a crystal clear finish. If you ever just dusted off with just like your regular fluffy brush, went in with an activator, and you notice that it was like super cloudy or not like this crystal clear finish, try using a nail stiff brush to go ahead and brush off that clear. It will make all the difference in the world. So now what we're doing is applying a layer of activator on all the nails here, and then we're going to get into filing and buffing. I am going to do the filing and buffing off camera just to save some time today, and then after filing and buffing, we're going to go in with another layer of activator. This is going to get rid of all those buffing lines, and it's also going to go ahead and just settle all the dip powder after filing and buffing just to seal it all in. It's also going to help with your dip base if you choose to do a dip base. So I wanted to add a little nail sticker here, so I'm going to use that Makartt transfer foil glue, apply it to the nail. While that's curing for 60 seconds, we're going to add a little sticker here. So that Makartt transfer foil glue, you apply it just like you would with like a gel base, gel top coat, and you cure for 60 seconds, and it gives your nail a very like sticky surface, so you can really get like any vinyl stickers or regular stickers to lay really flat to the nail, which I love so much. So now that we have that little bunny on the nail, I'm just going to take this little silicone tool and then just press down the sides of the little sticker here just to have it kind of become a one with the nail. This is also another reason why I like to use that transfer foil glue, because it kind of gives you like a seamless transition from the sticker to the nail, and you can't really tell that it is a sticker, which I love so, so much. Now that we have that sticker completely flat, we're going to seal in the mani today with a layer of gel top coat. It's the Extreme Shine Top Coat from Madkin Beauty, and we're going to do the rest of the nails off camera, cured for 60 seconds. And here is our simple Easter mani. I love it so much. Now that glitter is kind of giving me like Easter egg, kind of little like mini Easter egg kind of vibes now. But overall, I just love it. And that bunny is everything. It's adorable. And I love just like the soft pastel colors that we pulled in with this glitter as well. Overall, very simple, very fun. That glitter, we did do 3 dips. We hand placed glitters as well, but it still was not like extremely bulky or anything like that. After filing and buffing, it was a breeze. So very easy to work with. Such a fun glitter. Again, options are going to be endless with that one. You can really definitely use that kind of like all summer long as well. All right, so everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed our little Easter mani today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into some new colors from Fairy Glamour. These colors here are part of the new Butterfly collection. We're going to be using dip liquids today as well, so we're not using any gels. But before we dive into these new colors, we're going to do a little bit of color blocking. Nothing too crazy. We're just going to apply that tape there and just divide those two colors. You can just do your color blocking any design you want. And then to make sure that that tape is laying super flat, I'm just going to go ahead and use this little silicone tool. Also, everything that we are using can be found in that description box below. So when working with solids and glitters, I like to start with the lighter color first when it comes to the solid and then work my way to the darker colors. I also like to do my solids first before my glitters to prevent any contamination because I want to keep those beautiful solids as pure as possible. So we're dipping into the first coat here, in this color right here. It's just like a beautiful, just like melon spring orange. It is perfect. It is just like a really beautiful orange, and I really like how it has like a little bit of softness to it. So in between each coat, after we apply the dip liquid and then dip into the powder, I am going to dust off in between each coat, and we are going to do 2 layers of each beautiful color today so you can really see these colors in action. Plus, we're going to be playing with a really fun chunky glitter so you can see how I played with that, and then we're going to create a really fun nail design as well. And we're going to be using some of those really fun glitter pieces that are butterfly shaped in one of the powders to create that nail art, and we're going to add some more butterflies to the rest of the nail. I will say this is a really fun collection, and everything that we are using today for the powders are from that new collection. We're also going to dive into Metamorphosis, and so I do not forget, Metamorphosis is a beautiful thermal. It's like this like rich, almost like purple blue, but then it has like when it hits like that thermal effect, it has like a really pretty like spring green effect to it. It's really unique. It's really beautiful, and I love the name Metamorphosis. Like totally fits that name perfectly because of that beautiful color change. So that is what we're doing for today's mani. So enough chit chat. Let's dive in and see these beautiful powders in action, and then I'm going to pop back in at the end.
Someone to save me, no, and don't come running and blame me. From miles away I can tell that something's off. The way you look and how you pause when you talk, I think you said enough. You said you love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in the car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, cause if you're gonna leave me then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle, no, I just gotta know. If you're gonna leave me then just do it. Ooh. Let's be honest for a second, yeah, you're being over your head, babe, cause there is no one other than me that can make you feel the way you feel when I hold you. I think I said enough. You said you love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in the car, let me see who you are, who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, cause if you're gonna leave me then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle, no, I just gotta know. If you're gonna leave me then just do it. Ooh. Just do it. Don't need you here to say you're sorry, cause if you're gonna leave me then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle, no, I just gotta know. If you're gonna leave me then just do it. beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at these beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Every guy I met, we fell in love at a bad time. Getting insecure, questioning myself on the way down. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. Right now I need to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. One stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Grandpa used to ask why I'm single with such a pretty face. Where is your man? You should go out and chase him. Now I'm so tired of breathing underwater. I just wanna float like a ship made out of paper. So now I'm about to take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Don't need anyone else. I just wanna be for myself a while, nobody else. I just need myself, take care of myself, comfort in myself, like a roller coaster. One week I am up, next one I'll be down. But I'm getting closer to a stronger me, feeling free, like a roller coaster. Stronger me, feeling free, Even if you tried, you wouldn't understand it. Maybe something's missing inside of you. Just a bit of sugar to that horrid bitter. Maybe you taste different. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble acting, everlasting ego. I guess it never hit you. Our conversation takes two, paying it some interest from time to time. Inside all that greatness in all of your adventures, you're all alone. Hold up, baby. I can sit beside you while you're going on about your simple life. Nothing left you thinking that maybe you're not different. Go on, blow up your ego, your undying ego. Oh, look here he goes, stepping on toes with his humble acting, everlasting ego. Oh, here he goes, here he goes.
All right, so we're just finishing up the top coat here on the last nail, and then here's the finished mani. I love this collection. I really enjoyed the play of colors. I really like the butterflies as well. I will say, do not let that chunky glitter fool you with the butterflies. It actually laid super flat to the nail, and I really like how you can incorporate the butterflies on other colors as well because they're so like tiny and like super thin. So they just like magically lay flat to the nail kind of effortlessly, which I really appreciate that about a chunky glitter. But overall, such a fun like spring twist on colors. I could not be more excited about this mani. I really like that color blocking nail as well. And then we have like those jewel tone gold butterflies that kind of just give it like the ultimate like effect. It kind of just like makes the whole mani pop. Also, don't forget Metamorphosis does have that thermal change. So any kind of like temperature changing, you're going to get a different effect on that nail, which is super fun. So everything that we did use in today's mani can be found in that description box below. Stay tuned. We will be diving into more colors from this collection, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into new colors from Luxie Nail. We're going to be playing with the new Enchanted Fairy collection. We're going to be playing with 3 out of the 5 colors today, but stay tuned. We will be diving into the other colors as well. But before we get into this mani today, I'm going to prep this nail for color blocking. I'm just using that 3M medical tape, just applied it where I wanted that color blocking to be. And then I like to use a little silicone tool just to make sure that tape is laying super flat. Now we're going to go in with the gel method today. I'm going to do a very thin layer of gel base on the nail. Also, the shape that we're switching up the shape today. We're gonna do a medium coffin, and everything that we are using today can be found in that description box below. So after I went ahead and applied a very thin layer of gel base, I did not cure. I'm just gently dipping into that cupcake liner, and we're gonna tap off, and this is Celtic Opal, and it is so pretty. I love it so much. Now this collection is like the perfect combination of spring and St. Patty's Day mixed into one, and it's really gonna get you ready for spring season and kind of transition you into summer. Plus, some of these colors you can rock honestly all year long. There's really no rules or what colors you can wear when. This is just an overall a really beautiful thought out collection, and I really love it so much. I love the opal flakes in here as well, and it has like that like slight like almost like a springy green background to it. It's really pretty. It really makes those foils pop. So we're going to do the exact same thing on this nail here. Gonna go in with that gel base and then keep dipping. So we are gonna be playing with 3 colors today, and it's gonna be a very simple mani, but yet we're pulling in a little bit of color blocking. And then since this is the Enchanted Fairy collection, we had to add a little fairy decal to one of the nails to kind of just tie in the whole theme here. But overall, really fun. I'm already loving Celtic Opal so much. I love the coverage. Now, when you're playing with any opal or flaky kind of dips, just make sure you do take that extra time just to make sure everything is laying super flat. So that's why you see me spending a little bit more time just pressing down those flakes, because I really want to make sure they're laying super flat before we go ahead and cure it, because I do not want to cut into any of those foils. And then this is the color blocking nail. I wanted to really try color blocking with an opal and then do like a really fine shimmer to kind of see how that turned out. Spoiler alert, I really did love how it turned out. But now we're just going to go ahead and finish up the first dip here and gently press everything down. And then once everything's completely flat how I want it, we're going to go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. And then we're just going to go ahead and do a second dip today. So that's all we're doing. We're keeping it real simple. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's dive into these new beautiful colors and see them in action. And then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit. All right, so you can see here I'm struggling a little bit with that color blocking tape. It did not come off in like a clean piece, which is okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the rest of that tape off the nail. And then to clean up that line, I'm just gonna go in with a file and make sure that line is exactly how I want it before we go in with the other color. This step right here is important for your color blocking because if your line isn't exactly how you want it and you go in with the other color, you're not gonna be able to fix that line after you apply that other color. So just keep that in mind. Just make sure that line, that original line that you started with, is exactly how you want it before you go in with that second color. It's going to save you all the time in the world when you are doing your filing and buffing. All right, so let's get back into this mani, and then I'm going to pop back in at the end with my final thoughts. Now this mani would not be complete without a little sprinkle of pixie dust. We had to add a little fairy to one of the nails here just to tie in the whole Enchanted Fairy collection. So the best part about doing a layer of gel base on the nail and curing it, it gives the nail a little bit of a tacky surface to really help that decal adhere to the nail and lay flat. And it also gives you a little bit of wiggle room so you can gently move around that decal to get it exactly where you want it before you seal it in. And now that we have that decal exactly where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and seal it in. I'm going to use a flat brush and a little bit of acetone. So I'm just going to saturate that brush, wipe it off, and then I'm just going to ever so gently fade out the sides of that decal where that transition of the decal meets the nail. And then I'm just going to go ahead and press down any air bubbles or lines that may be in that decal so we have a very smooth surface. Just make sure you have a very, very delicate hand and that you do not have like too much acetone on that brush. Once that nail and that decal is dry from that acetone, I'm going to seal it in with a layer of gel top coat. This is a 2-in-1 gel top coat. And then I'm going to finish up the rest of the nails off camera. And here's the finished mani. It's definitely giving me those spring feels. I love the pop of pink. Celtic Opal is simply beautiful. And then we have like this really fun green glitter. I only needed to do one dip of that fine green glitter. It was like the perfect amount of sparkle, the perfect amount of coverage. It was everything, and I just love how this mani turned out. It's very simple, but yet we have like that beautiful opal. We're pulling in some shimmer. We have some color blocking, and then we have that really just like really pretty fairy. She's just sitting on that mushroom, hanging out with her butterfly. But overall, I love how these powders performed with the gel method. And if you are looking for some spring colors, these are definitely a good option to consider. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's Fairy Spring Mani, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you another way to add some easy nail art to any mani by using transfer foils, and we're also going to apply the transfer foils over a cat eye gel polish, and then we're going to be playing with this new gadget. This is a 5-in-1 magnet, so you can create all those fun designs with one little gadget. It's definitely a good thing to have in your arsenal, especially if you like cat eye gel polishes. This little guy is gonna be your jam because you're gonna be able to do so many different things with it, and it's all in one, which is the best part. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna start this process on one nail, and I'm gonna show you all the steps from start to finish. So right now we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna select your desired base color. I wanted to do just like a very light color, so we're doing a hint of purple. It's just a beautiful, just like pinky purple. It's perfect for spring, and it's going to go really well with the cat eye gel polish. So I cured that for 30 seconds, and you can see here this color is great full coverage. Now we're going in with one of the Soda Crystal cat eyes. This is one of the new colors from the new collection, and they are fantastic. I love this color so much, and it just has like the perfect like pearl pink. I feel like this color right here will look fantastic on its own without having that magnet on there. So here's what we're working with right now. It is one coat, and now we're going to go in with the magnet. So we're going to focus on this magnet right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the sides of the nail for this look, but you could create any magnetic design that you want on the nail, but we're just going to keep it simple today for that design. And then once you have that magnetic design exactly how you want it, go ahead and cure it right away so you do not lose that design. So now we're going to go in with a HEMA-free transfer foil glue, and you apply it just like you would with your gel base or gel top coat. Once the nail is completely covered, I'm going to go ahead and cure for a full 60 seconds, and then after it's cured, it's going to have a really sticky tacky layer on that nail, and that is really going to help pull that image through on that transfer foil. So now what I'm going to do is, the hardest part was selecting what transfer foil to use for this mani. That's the hardest part. There are so many different designs. So go ahead and line up that transfer foil exactly how you want it on that nail, because once you press that transfer foil down on the nail, you do not want to abruptly just like pull that off because you're not going to get a clean image. And now what I'm doing is I'm firmly rubbing that image into the nail, so you could either use your finger or you could go in with a silicone tool. Silicone tool works really well when you are working near the cuticle line, the free edge, and the sidewalls, but you could definitely still get the same effect without the silicone tool by using your finger. So if you are making a press on like we're doing today, I find it works best if you remove that nail completely off the stand. That way you can really rub that image into the nail. So right now I'm going to go ahead and take a sneak peek here, and I'm going to slowly start lifting up that transfer foil. And if any of the image is still not transferring, I'm going to continue rubbing it into the nail. You can see here we still have some bare spots. So I'm just going to keep doing the same process. I'm going to just slowly pull that transfer foil off. And then if I see any areas that still need that image to be completed, I'm just going to keep rubbing onto that nail until that image is completely on the nail. I will say the HEMA-free transfer foil glues need a little bit more love when it comes to getting a very clean image. I feel like the non-HEMA-free transfer foil glues work a little bit better, but you can still get a really awesome effect with the HEMA-free transfer foil glues. Just keep in mind that you may need to just spend a little time rubbing in that image. Then to seal in the transfer foil image, I'm doing a layer of gel top coat and curing for 60 seconds. I did the rest of the nails off camera, and how fun is this set right here? There's just something about a pink cat eye gel polish in general, but then you incorporate some transfer foils and it's like a whole game changer. This mani right here is like the ultimate spring mani. And when it comes to the transfer foils, you don't necessarily need to do like a full-blown mani with all the transfer foils like we did here. You could shake it up a little bit and do like a couple accent nails. That would also be super pretty. But I really liked how this turned out. I think it's really fun and springy. So everything that we did use in today's mani can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's simple nail art, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into some brand new colors from Luxie Nail. We're also going to be creating a press-on set in the shape Short Coffin. We're diving right in. We are wasting no time today on these beautiful colors. We're doing the gel method today, so I'm just doing a very thin layer. And I like to start right underneath that cuticle line area when I'm making a press-on, and then work that product up just to make sure that I'm not flooding the underneath side of that press-on. Same thing would apply when you are doing this mani on your natural hand or over your enhancements. But check out that coverage. I will say it's kind of like a pink fluffy cloud with that first coat. And we're just going to go ahead and just gently press everything down. I love the coverage. These are super buttery soft as well. We're going to cure for 30 seconds, dust off, and then we're going to go back in with another thin layer of that gel base, and we're going to continue this process today. So these colors are fantastic. They're great for spring, even though Easter is like a few days away. Spring, you can still rock spring mani. So spring is just starting when Easter ends, in my opinion, because Easter kind of came out of nowhere this year. So we have all this time now to rock all these beautiful spring colors. I will say, look at the second dip here. It's just like that pink. It's just like even more brighter and vibrant. These are very buildable. I really like the coverage with 2 coats. That's all we're doing, but you definitely could build up 3 coats. So I cured for 30 seconds and dusted off. So anytime you're doing the gel method, you always want to cure each layer for a full 30 seconds. Sometimes if you're using darker colors, depending on your lamp, you might need to cure for about 60 seconds if you're doing like a black nail or anything like that, because that light really needs to penetrate through all those layers because it is such a darker color. So just keep that in mind. If you are looking for a nail lamp, I do have a few suggestions of my 2 favorite ones that I use all the time, and that link is in that description box below. So what we're doing today is we're gonna do like a Skittles spring mani, but yet with a twist. Then once we use all these new like pastel colors, there's 4 of them, we're gonna go ahead and then do like a really fun kind of like a unicorn kind of style ombre mani. We're going to pull in all the colors and do like a tap ombre of all the colors on the nail just to create a really fun like rainbow effect. Then we're going to use one of the like shimmery opal foil colors to do like a very slight like ethereal chrome effect on top of that ombre nail. So that is the game plan for today. So you're really going to be able to see these new beautiful colors in action. So they look like a solid, but they have a very just like light, super light shimmer to it, which I really like, because what that shimmer is going to do, it's not going to be as harsh on your nail as like a pastel solid would be, because that shimmer is going to help eliminate like any imperfections on your nail, so you're going to get like a flawless coverage. That's what I feel like when I'm playing with solids that have like that slight ever so slightly shimmer in it. I just feel like it gives your nail like this like flawless coverage. And if you're someone that's like not into sparkle, you honestly are not going to tell that these have like that slight shimmer to it unless like you're really looking closely at the nail. But just keep that in mind when you are working with these, that there is a slight shimmer. But you know me, I'm all about that shimmer life. So we're diving into the second color here. This is like the perfect sky blue, and this would be really fun too. So there's a lot of different options you can do with these colors. The main thing is I really wanted you to see how these colors perform, and I really wanted to show you a simple way to pull in spring colors, and then for an accent nail to kind of do like a unicorn ombre kind of effect. So you can always make your nails as simple as you want, or you can get super creative. You could do a whole bunch of nail art on top of this. You could also do a matte finish on this mani. You could pull in some speckle egg effect. But I mean, options are pretty much endless when you are doing your nails at home. Now, the colors that we're using right now are just a little bit of a sneak peek of what other colors are releasing today from Luxie Nail. Luxie Nail is currently celebrating the 5th year. That's such a great accomplishment for any small business, or especially a dip company in the nail world. The 5th year, that's amazing. So it's the 5th year anniversary. So the collection that we're pulling in today, these pieces and the colors, are part of the Let Them Eat Cake collection. So you have like these beautiful satin, I'm going to call these satin shimmers because they're just a very just light shimmer. And then there's also really beautiful foil and shimmer dips, and they're just everything. The foil pieces are definitely chef's kiss. If you have not tried any foils from Luxie Nail, I definitely recommend. They're a super high quality foil. They're imported from Italy, and the colors are just beautiful. There's like very minimal bleeding, if any bleeding at all. They're very high quality foil. So we are just wrapping up here that last dip of this beautiful purple, and we're gonna cure for 30 seconds, dust off. Here's what we're working with. So right now, this mani looks super awesome just by itself, but we're gonna change it up and we're gonna pull in all 4 of these colors, and we're gonna do a little bit of an ombre here. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a layer of gel base. Now, when you're doing the gel method, the thinner you can get your layers, the better it's gonna be. And now the hardest part is gonna be what colors you wanna start with first and where you wanna place the colors. So right now I'm starting off with the pink, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do small sections at a time because I really just wanna make this almost like a tie-dyed cloud effect by pulling in as much color as we can get, so we can really get like that unicorn kind of look that we're going for. So I'm just focusing on tapping on small areas. Again, you don't have to do necessarily do 4 colors. You could do 3 colors. I mean, you could even do this with 2 colors, but I just wanted to focus on smaller sections versus bigger sections just to give it more dimension. So that's all we're doing right now, is we're just alternating between each colors and then just gently tapping that powder onto there. And I'm really focusing on certain areas because I don't want it to kind of like muddy up. I wanted it to just have like a color kind of explosion, if that makes sense, on the nail. So just gently tapping into alternating colors, and then just make sure you tap that nail off at the end away from the cupcake liner, because what's going to happen if you tap off right now into that purple, you're going to end up getting all those colors into that purple, and you're going to contaminate your powder. So here's what we're working with. We're just going to gently press everything down, and then I'm going to go ahead and cure for 30 seconds. And then once we go ahead and cure, we're going to dust off. Now right here, this looks gorgeous on its own with just like that first coat, but it really looks like a cloud right here. But we're gonna build up that color, and we're gonna go in with another layer of gel base, and then we're gonna go ahead and tap on those colors, but this time we're gonna alternate the colors just slightly. So instead of starting with the pink first, I'm gonna go in with the blue, because what I want, even though we're piling on all different colors here and trying to build up that pigment, I still want a little bit of like that ombre effect, just to kind of have like those colors kind of just transition in together. So that's why I'm starting off with the other colors. So I started with the blue first, then I went back in the pink, and then we're just going to go ahead, and you want to go ahead when you're doing the second coat, you want to try and get those colors in the exact same spot that you had before. I mean, as close as possible, because what happens if you go ahead and put the pink where you have the green, you're gonna get like a muddy effect. So right now, the whole purpose of doing that second dip is just to get those colors kind of transitioning more together to give it like that ombre look flow. And we're trying to build up that pigment from that first dip. So now that we went ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and tap off, and you can see we have even a brighter effect going on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just make sure everything is laying super flat, cured for 30 seconds, dust off, and here's what we're working with. And now since we cured for 30 seconds, this nail is perfectly good to go ahead and file and buff. So filing and buffing, I'm just gonna go right in with a buffer block here. I love this buffing file. It's big enough that you have a lot of control because it's almost the same size as your like traditional file, and that will be linked in the description box below. It's a game changer. It's way easier to file and buff with that versus like that little small like little orange block. And then I'm just going to reshape ever so slightly here and clean up the sidewalls and the free edge, and then that's all we're doing for filing and buffing. These are super soft buttery powders that they needed very minimal filing and buffing. I'm going to do the rest of the filing and buffing on the other nails off camera just to save time. So now I'm doing a layer of gel base on the entire nail here, and then we're going to cure it for 30 seconds, and you want to make sure you cure it for a full 30 seconds. So now we're going to go in with this beautiful opal color here, and I'm going to take a little eyeshadow sponge, and I'm going to do like a slight little chrome effect going on here. I'm really focusing on like these beautiful just like fine sparkles that are in that powder, and it's going to give us like a unicorn kind of chrome effect. It's like a very like ethereal effect, super easy to achieve. I feel like it works better having that tacky layer from the dip base when you are working with this method, when you're trying to do like this unicorn effect. But you could also do this with your top coat as well. Make sure you cure it for 60 seconds, but I find that it works a little bit better and I get a little bit more sparkle here when I use a dip base because it has like that tacky layer. So that is what the nail looks like. I'm gonna head and brushed off, and then we're gonna seal it in right away with a layer of gel top coat. I'm gonna go ahead and do the top coat on the rest of the nails. And here's the finished mani. It's a very simple, just spring cheery kind of mani. I love the color scheme. It's simple, but yet we still have like that really fun accent nail here with our like unicorn tie-dyed effect nail. But I really love these colors. They performed amazingly with the gel method. The colors are fantastic. I really love just like they're pastels, but yet they have like that twist of brightness to it, and they don't have like that like chalky white effect to them. Like a lot of pastel colors have like a white base and they can like look a little bit chalky. These do not have that. They actually like stay true to their color. So I really like that about it. And they have the most beautiful shimmer. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be creating a very simple mani today using dip powders from Madkin Beauty. We're going to create it on a set on medium almond, and then we're also pulling in some beautiful pink tones. So if you are a pink lover, this is definitely going to be a video for you because you're going to be able to see beautiful pink tones in action so you can really see how they perform. We are using the gel method today, so I'm doing a very thin layer of gel base on the nail and then dipping directly into that jar. Now this jar is a little bit smaller and we are using a medium size almond nail today. So if you are uncomfortable dipping in directly into that jar, you can definitely use the cupcake method. Normally I like to pour my powders into the cupcake liner, so just so I have a little bit more wiggle room. So I am curing as we go today. I'm going to cure for a full 30 seconds. If you are looking for nail lamp suggestions, I do have a few listed in that description box below, and everything that we are using from the nail stands to that nail putty to that little bottle holder to all the products that we're using can always be found in that description box below. So that first coat here, it's really pretty. This is just like a rosy kind of peony color flower with like a slight hint of coral to it. It's a really beautiful color, but this color comes to life even more with that second coat. And I love this color. I feel like it's a great color for, it's just like the perfect amount of brightness, especially for that transition into summer. If you love pinks and you don't want necessarily like that bright, bold neon Barbie pink. This is a great alternative because you still have like that like that brightness kind of shining through and that pop of color, and it's really pretty, and I feel like you can definitely see a little bit of coral kind of shining through, but overall super pretty. So I'm just making sure everything is laying super flat before we go ahead and cure for a full 30 seconds. You can see that color difference here of the two dips versus one. Definitely pulling in a more vibrant, but a great color. It's a solid color and it does not have any shimmer in it or anything like that. And the colors are staying true to color. So sometimes when you're doing the gel method and you're working with deep pink colors or reds or anything like that, and you use the gel method, it can sometimes distort the color and it can look like it has a little bit of a distortness to it or kind of like a brown tinge to it. But I'm not experiencing any of that when it comes to the gel method and these colors. These colors work great with the gel method. I will say the Madkin Beauty line is great because you can use it with monomer, you can use it with dip liquids, and you can use it with gels, and you're not going to experience any color changing or anything like that. So that is definitely a plus. So if you like the gel method and you are looking for some great colors that work with the gel method and you don't have to like worry about any color changing, these are going to be for you. So this line that we're working with today, it's a fun little play on like moms being like exhausted, or that one color that we use was because I said so. It's a really fun Mother's Day collection, and it consists of 4 colors. We are using 3 out of the 4. The one color that is missing, it is a glitter. It's really pretty. And the only reason why I did not pull in that glitter today to kind of create the whole Mother's Day set is because I wanted to add a decal to this mani, because I thought we're doing a very simple mani today. We're pulling in pinks, and then I wanted to do like a little flower bouquet to kind of tie in the whole Mother's Day kind of theme. I felt like these pinks definitely needed some flowers in here. So that is why we did not pull in that glitter. But these colors right here are, no matter if you're a mom or celebrating Mother's Day, these colors are just great colors in general, and they definitely needed a moment on their own. Okay, so this color right here, Hot Mess, has to be my ultimate favorite because it is like the perfect rosy kind of quartz color here. It's soft, it's delicate, but yet it has like the right amount of like color to it. And then it has, are you ready for it? The perfect shimmer. It has the perfect shimmer. So I'm just spending some time here just pressing everything down. But this shimmer, it is everything. I love it so much. This has to be my favorite, one of my favorite pinks from Madkin Beauty. It is so pretty. So I cured for 30 seconds, dusted off, and we're going to go back in now with the gel. And I debated, I really sat on this for a second, if I was just going to do one coat because I really like the coverage and just like that simple sparkle. And then I was like, okay, no, we're going to do 2 because that's what we're here for. Let's do 2 coats here to kind of see what it comes up with. And I loved it even more. So 2 coats right here, it's even just more pink and more shimmery, and it is just overall a beautiful color. The name Hot Mess is really funny because I'm a mom of 2 and I have little ones, and I'm always a hot mess because my kids have me running from when they wake up till they go to bed. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. So the name Hot Mess is definitely very appropriate. Okay, angel wings. Moving on to this beautiful color. This right here, I've used it a lot on my channel. It is a great, great color. It's beautiful. It has the right amount of sparkle to it. And you can either, the coverage is great. So you can see here with the gel method, we have great coverage, and it's a very just like sheer color. So one coat right here, if you're not worried about building up structure or strength, one coat is really beautiful, and you can do a lot of nail art on top of it, either with some gel work or decals, but I really wanted to build it up just a little bit more. So we are doing another layer here, and this is going to be the nail that we're going to be adding that decal to. I really like adding whites to my decals because you're going to get the most color payoff when it comes to a decal. The colors that are printed on the decal are just going to shine through over a white background. But today I wanted to add a little bit more of a shimmer to this nail, and this color right here was definitely the right color. So I'm just making sure all those little sparkles are laying completely flat before we go ahead and cure, and we cured for 30 seconds. here's what we're working with here. The mani on its own is really pretty. It's beautiful even without the decals. So now it's time to add a decal. I wanted just to add a touch of flowers to this, just to kind of tie everything together. So I'm doing a layer of gel base. That's going to cure for 30 seconds. I'm going to place the decal in room temperature water for about 15 seconds. The reason why I did a layer of gel base and cured it on the nail is that it gives the nail a little bit of a tacky layer, and then I still have a little bit of wiggle room when I'm playing with this delicate decal that I can gently still move it around to get it exactly where I want it before I go ahead and just start pressing it down to the nail. So now I'm just making sure I'm getting the decal exactly where I want it. I like to use a jelly stamper to kind of see where I'm placing it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just gently press everything down and make sure that that decal is laying super flat, and that tacky layer of that gel base is also going to help that decal to lay flat to the nail. You could also use a transfer foil glue if you wanted. So I'm just making sure that is exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to take just a little bit of acetone here on a flat brush, and I'm just ever so lightly, like with a feather touch, just pressing down on that decal to remove any air bubbles or lines. So this decal is now becoming one with the nail. I had like a little line on there, and I like doing this method because I feel like with a little bit of acetone, I can really get this decal to lay completely flat. And again, just a little bit of acetone goes a long way. And just make sure you have a really delicate touch. You can always practice this method on a swatch stick before you go ahead and try putting acetone on your mani that you just completed. Definitely recommend practicing before you try this method. Then once the nail is completely dry, I'm going to do a layer of gel base and cure for 30 seconds. I did the filing and buffing off camera today just to save time, and then I did the rest of the gel base off camera. And then to seal in, we're going to go in with a gel top coat here, and we're going to finish up the rest of the nails and cure for a full 60 seconds. And that is all we did for this mani today. Filing and buffing was super easy. I did not need a buff on top. I just cleaned up the sidewalls and the free edge. That was it. Very minimal filing and buffing. And then here's the finished mani. These colors are so beautiful. They're perfect for spring, and they just have like, they're just so delicate, but yet we have like some pops of sparkle in there. I overall really loved how these powders performed, especially with the gel method. They worked beautifully, especially that one because I said so. I was kind of worried about how that color was going to perform with the gel method, but I did not experience any issues when it came to these beautiful colors. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed this simple mani today and these beautiful pink colors in action. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to switch things up a little bit. I'm going to show you a way to get an effortless scrub ombre effect by using gels and dip powders. We're going to be using items today from Sundara Nails. We're going to start off with the base color. So that's the first part. Probably the hardest part is what color do you want to do for your base. So I chose today this beautiful blossom pink. It's perfect for that transition into spring, and it's a really awesome, like I feel like a really delicate color, a great color to add to your collection. It's very full coverage. You could definitely do one coat. So I did cure that one coat for 30 seconds, but I am going to go in with a third coat because I just wanted to build up that beautiful blossom pink color just a little bit more here today. So that's what we're doing. I'm also using the shape medium almonds, and those jelly tips are also from Sundara Nails as well. So now we're going to cure for a full 60 seconds, and here's that nail before we go ahead and do that scrub ombre. It's a beautiful color. So now what we're going to do is a layer of gel top coat over the entire nail. If you've ever experienced any flaking or peeling, then I recommend doing a layer of gel base, cure for 30 seconds, then go in with your top coat and then cure for 60 seconds. So once we go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to do a layer of the matte top coat. So the reason why I did a layer of regular top coat first and cured is that that's going to give us this really awesome smooth velvet finish with that matte top coat. It's not going to show any lines or anything like that. It's going to be a very smooth finish. So while that's curing, we're going to dive into this beautiful powder here. See how that matte finish is just like perfection? So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and dip the tip of this nail here into bikini coral here, and you can see here that we picked up a little bit of that powder. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a fluffier brush. I feel like it works better with fluffy, it's less streaky, and we are going to just brush downwards. So we're going to continue this method by dipping that nail into that dip powder. And again, that matte top coat was cured. And then we're just going to go ahead and brush down. You do not want to brush any higher than where that ombre effect is starting, because what's going to happen is that you could transfer that powder up to that cuticle line. So just make sure you are brushing in a one motion downward kind of brushing effect, because if you, the more you brush, you can see here how it's fading up to that cuticle line. So if you want to avoid that, just make sure you're very careful on how you're brushing. But you can make this ombre as bold as you want. So I'm just going to keep dipping into the powder and then keep brushing off until I have that desired beautiful coral color. But I feel like this is definitely an easier way to achieve that beautiful ombre effect. Plus, I really like the color combination of like that beautiful like peachy pink color mixed in with a very just like bright color. You can do any color with this. Neons are definitely going to be awesome, especially for spring break. So this is what we're working with right now. I love the coverage. I love the color. So then to seal it in, I'm going to go back in with another layer of gel top coat. Now, if you wanted to make that ombre even brighter, you would just go ahead and continue doing that same process. Also, you can see here when we're applying that top coat that those colors are not bleeding into each other or anything like that. It is staying in that true ombre effect. All right, so I went ahead and cured for 60 seconds, and here's the finished nail. It's just a very beautiful like gradient effect. I feel like it's a less harsher ombre by using the fluffier brush. Normally, I would do my ombres with like an eyeshadow brush, and I felt like it was a little bit harsher kind of with that where the transition meets the color, but the fluffy brush gives you just like a beautiful, just like gradient transition, and I just love this color combination. It is melting my whole heart. These are definitely like my go-to colors, colors that I gravitate towards. I just think they're fun. This is a great way too to just have like a really fun spring mani, but yet maybe you're going like on a tropical vacation, so you have like the best of both worlds. You have some spring going on, but yet you have that touch of brightness. You could mix this up and do all different colors, especially for summer. I think this would be super fun. So everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed today's little short mani, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're playing with a new mani kit from Kozmik Nails. It is the Bouquet Mani Kit. It has everything your nails are craving for that spring season. We're wasting no time. We're diving right into this mani today. We're doing a set of press-ons and we're doing the gel method. We're also using the shape short coffin, and everything including this mani kit can be found in that description box below. So this mani kit is perfect for right now, especially if you are ready for spring. This kit is going to be for you, and if you're a purple lover, then this is definitely going to be for you. So you can already see that color payoff with the gel method. It is beautiful. I love the coverage. So the inspiration behind this kit was created with Kozmik Nails and one of the ambassadors, Lauren, and the two of them combined created this amazing bouquet mani kit. And I just could not be more excited about this kit. So it comes with 2 dip powders. You can pick your sizes. I always get my Kozmik Nails powders in the sample size, and they come in this little baggie. That's how I prefer them, because then I can store them a little bit easier. That's just my preference. But if you want jars, you can definitely get the sample size in jars as well, and you can get other sizes in between. So that is awesome. We're also going to be playing with some vinyl stickers today, and I'm going to use a newer product from Kozmik Nails to show you how to get like a really sticky, tacky surface on a nail without using a gel product. So we're going to dive into that, and then we're going to play with some little gems that are included in this little bundle as well. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's get into these beautiful colors, and then I'm going to pop back in just a little bit.
I might go too fast. I don't care about those limits, 'cause I want this to last like nothing ever lasts before. I might go too fast. 'Cause suddenly I feel so rich, though I don't know a thing. Oh, I can't let this slip, no. I gotta seize the moment. not this time, 'cause I might go too fast. Suddenly I feel so rich, though I don't know the thing. Oh, I can't let this slip. No, you gotta seize the moment. Have you even noticed? Are you thinking about me? Are you thinking about me? I'm having a hard time not doing anything other than thinking about you. So are you thinking about me? 'Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I know we just met, but it feels like I know you. We love the same things. You want a house in Malibu. Are you feeling the same way I do? Are you feeling the same way I do? Are you thinking about me? Are you thinking about me? I'm having a hard time not doing anything other than thinking about you. So are you thinking about me? 'Cause I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. Cause I've been thinking about you.
All right, so we're just finishing up the filing and buffing. I'm going to do the rest off camera. Now, I love this mani as it is without any extra embellishments on it, but we're going to play with this newer product from Kozmik Nails. What it is you do a very thin layer on the nail. You just brush it on the nail. And at first I was like, okay, it's totally changing the color of the nail. It's giving it more of like a milky purple effect, but do not worry. Once the nail is completely dry, it dries clear and it looks exactly how you dipped it. So do not let this milkiness fool you, because once it's dry, your nail is the exact same color you dipped in. So just keep that in mind. Also, once it's dry, it provides the nail with a very tacky layer. So it makes it really easy to apply decals, full nail wraps, or playing with vinyl stickers. It just gives that nail a little bit of stickiness to just really help any of those extra elements that you add to the nail lay super flat. So now we're playing with the first vinyl sticker. The hardest part for me with this vinyl sticker was to pick out where I wanted it and to punch out that little hole there in the middle. I just wanted that little flower to have like that little opening in the middle. Now that I have that flower exactly where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and take this little silicone tool and just make sure I am pressing that flower down, making sure I am getting it as flat as possible. And that sticky layer is actually working really well. I'm not experiencing any lifting at the moment with this really fun sticker. So we're just going to go ahead and use all three different colors in this bundle right here. There is this really pretty white that we just used, this like minty kind of springy green color that we're going to dive into, and then there's a really pretty like champagne gold. So right there, I'm just trying to pop out those little circles. Again, you can leave those circles on that flower if you want that flower to be like one piece, but I wanted to go ahead and punch those little holes out because we're going to add these little purple gems that came in this kit as well. So exact same thing. When you're satisfied with the placement of the flower, then just go ahead and work that flower into the nail with that silicone tool. And then here's that other color. These flowers are perfect for spring, and I feel like these colors also really just like pull together and create the ultimate spring effect with the dip powder that we use as well on that purple background. It's really, really fun. So again, just popping out that little circle right there. And then we're going to go ahead and just plop this right on the nail right there. Kind of made a little fun design. You could do one flower, you could do three, you could even do more flowers and do like a whole bunch of layering. Options are endless with these vinyl stickers. And right there, you can see I could peel it up and put it back on the nail, and it was pretty easy to just remove that to get it exactly where I wanted it. And then we're just going to go back in with that silicone tool here and just make sure everything is laying completely flat. Then once everything's flat, I'm going to go ahead and do a layer of gel base on the nail. And then I am going to go ahead and cure right away for 30 seconds because I want to make sure that none of those flowers start lifting. And then once that's cured, we're going to go in with a layer of the 2-in-1 gel top coat from Kozmik Nails. I am not going to cure yet either. I'm going to go ahead and apply some of those really pretty purple nail rhinestones in the middle of that flower. So that's exactly what we're doing right now. These little purple rhinestones were in that little bundle as well. So we're just going to go ahead and add 3 of them to the little opening there of that flower just to give it a little bit more pop of bling here. But overall, so fun. So these are all the elements that are found in this bundle. It's super adorable and it's perfect for spring. And now I'm going to go ahead and cure for 60 seconds, and that's going to hold those little rhinestones in place. So I finished up the rest of the mani off camera by placing more of those vinyl stickers on the other nail and the gemstones. And I will say this mani right here is giving me all those spring feels, and I'm totally living for it in the moment. Actually, right now it is snowing here on Friday in Wisconsin, so I am so ready for spring. I need it in my life. So if you have any warm weather, send it my way, please. But this mani right here was so fun. I love the colors. I love the powders. When we did the filing and buffing and we were just looking at this mani before we went ahead and added those vinyl stickers and the rhinestones, I had a moment where I was like, I kind of want to leave this mani as is because I just fell in love with the colors and the simplicity of it. But I really love the twist of these really fun vinyl stickers and rhinestones too. So that's like the best part about this bundle is that you can pick and choose what you want to use in your mani. You could just focus on the dip powders, you could add rhinestones, or you could just focus on those vinyl stickers. You can even use everything that we use today with other colors, so options are endless with this bundle. But everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. Also, if you are looking to purchase from Kozmik Nails, don't forget I do have a discount code. It's Mallory10. So I hope you enjoyed today's springtime mani, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be playing with gel products from Sundara Nails, and we're also going to be playing with that really fun magnetic tool. It's a 5-in-1. So we're going to be creating a really fun spring mani by pulling in some pastels. We're going to be playing with a really fun cat eye gel polish as well. And then we're going to be creating some flowers with the magnetic tool, which is just going to be the ultimate spring mani. So we're doing a set of press-ons today. We're using the Shape Jelly Tip in medium almond. I love medium almond. This by far, the medium almond from Sundara Nails, is the perfect length. It's not too short, it's not too long. It is truly a medium. Sometimes when you're playing with jelly tips and you order a medium, it looks like it is a long, and I'm just like, I cannot function with those. And this is just right here, the perfect medium almond. So what we're doing is I am curing each color as we go, and I'm only doing one coat of each color because the formula from Sundara Nails is super full coverage, which I love so much. And this right here, this is going to be a great way to see beautiful colors that Sundara Nails has to offer. By seeing all 5 of these colors here in action, you're going to get a really good indicator on how these colors perform. They're a very gentle formula. Also, they do not have that super harsh chemical scent. A lot of times when you're playing with any kind of like HEMA-free gel polish, for some reason I noticed that they have like this super strong chemical scent to them. These gels do not, so that is another plus. Also, since they're very full coverage, the gel products that Sundara Nails has to offer are great gels if you love doing nail art. These are going to be some go-to colors in general because you're going to be able to do a lot of nail art, and you're not going to have to go back into the color when you're doing your nail art because it is such an opaque color. So we're cruising along here. You can see here we have like the ultimate spring Skittles mani. Now you could totally stop here and just rock these colors by themselves, and you could do like a glossy finish, you could do a matte finish, you could do a little speckled egg action on this right here. Options are endless with this combination right here, but we're going to add a cat eye gel polish on top of this to create the really fun nail art because these colors that we use are going to be the base, and that's what the flower is going to pull through. All right, so now we're diving into the cat eye gel polish. This is one of the newer ones. It is called Coconut Fresh, and it is just a really pretty iridescent silver color. It kind of has an Aurora effect to it. It's not like that harsh silver. It's just like a more of like a unicorn silver, if you may say so. And I will say this looks awesome as a topper over these colors as well, even like without using the magnet. So the only thing you need to keep in mind when you're playing with magnetic gels is that you need to work fast. So once you create that design, I'm just hovering right over the nail for about 5 to 6 seconds. Once you create that design, you want to go ahead and get that in the lamp right away and cure for a full 30 seconds. I do not flash cure because I don't want to risk getting any wrinkles or anything like that, or having that gel kind of have like that distort from flash cure. So I'm just going to go ahead, and since we're doing a press on set anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and just cure for a full 30 seconds. Sometimes when you do flash cure, you can get wrinkles, and that's just because that gel base did not cure fully. But I will say adding flowers to this magnetic gel is just really fun. It's very easy to achieve. It's almost effortless. And the hardest part about this whole mani is going to be picking what you want your base color to be. So how we have like that beautiful teal mermaid right there. And then we just went ahead and applied that gel cat eye polish to it. And then the flowers just pull that base. So whatever color you are using underneath that cat eye, that's what the flowers are gonna turn out, and it's just overall so fun. Another option would be, instead of doing like the pastel colors that we did for a base, is to use a black gel polish, and then you can pick different color cat eye gel polishes, that would look really fun as well. And Sundara Nails has a great variety of colors when it comes to the cat eye gel polishes, and that Crystal Soda collection is like the perfect spring cat eye polish collection to transition you from spring into summer. So this nail here, we're going to add 2 flowers, and then we're going to go ahead and stick that in the lamp right away before that image separates. And we're finishing up the last nail here. And the best part about the cat eye gel polishes is you don't necessarily need to use them with a magnet. You can do like what we're doing right now, is just applying it to the nail over any color that you desire, and you're gonna get a really awesome, just like the ultimate platinum fine glitterness to it. Kind of almost gives it a chrome effect. So that's another way to incorporate these cat eye gel polishes. All right, so now that we cured everything for 30 seconds, we're gonna finish up the mani today with a layer of gel top coat. So I'm just going in with the gentle top coat and doing 1 layer and then curing for 60 seconds. And then here's the finished mani. So now you get to finally see what the flowers look like, and they are just so fun. Again, you can totally get carried away with the magnet. You could do more than 2 flowers or just focus on 1. You could also put like little gems in the middle of the flower to just give it even more bling, or you can just stick to 1 color for your base instead of doing like the pastel skittles like we did here. But options are endless when it comes to playing with that magnetic tool and when it comes to playing with the cat eye gel polishes. But I love this mani so much. It's screaming spring, and I'm living for this mani here at the moment. So everything that we did use can be found in that description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hi everyone, welcome back. For today's mani, we're going to be dipping into dip powders from Luxie Nail. We're going to be creating a sugar-coated candy kind of style mani here, and you're going to see why in just a minute. So we are doing the gel method today. We're making a set of press-ons on the shape short coffin, and we're doing a Skittles mani using 5 colors from Luxie Nail. But these colors are so fun. They have like this like texture glitter to it, and it gives the nail like this like candy coated effect, which is like super effortless, and it also lays really flat to the nail. I love these colors so much. They're the perfect like just spring pastel colors. They're very fun. So after each dip, I am going to go ahead and just gently press everything down before we go ahead and cure each nail for 30 seconds. Then we're going to go ahead and do another layer. So we're going to end up doing 2 coats of each color. So after we cure, we're going to dust off, and then we're going to go right in to that other layer. But you can see here you have great coverage with that first coat, and I really like how those glitters lay very flat to the nail. It almost is like a pastel like matte glitter. It's really fun, and it just gives the nail an overall really awesome finish. And since I couldn't decide which colors I wanted to use, I was like, you know what, we're just going to use them all and create a really fun sugar coated mani today, which is perfect for this time of year. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Mallory. I post videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and every other Saturdays, and I hope you stay a while. I really enjoy making press-ons for 2 reasons. I feel like you can really see how the colors perform, and you can really get an idea if a color is going to be right for you versus like me trying to do it on my actual nail. I feel like you can get like a better visual of the color, and that's like the whole purpose. I really want you to see how colors perform, and there are tons of beautiful colors out there, so you can really see a good variety here on my channel. Another reason why I like to make press-ons is that I do like to change my nails quite often. Before I switched my schedule, I just switched my schedule recently, but I was posting every day. So I was definitely changing up my nails all the time. So I was like, I'm just going to convert to press-ons because then I can wear them again whenever I want. And that's like the best part, is that I could wear one set, you know, this week, and then a few months down the road, I could totally rock that same set again. I do apply my press-on nails with dip base. What I do is I apply a little bit of dip base on my natural nail and then a little bit of the dip base on the press-on nail, and then I go ahead and apply to my natural nail that press-on, and I hold it down for 30 seconds to really make sure that that dip base is completely dry between each layer from that press-on nail to the natural nail. And a couple tips for longevity when it comes to applying a press-on set. I recommend applying before bed and avoiding any lotions or cuticle oils or any hot water. Do not take a shower or do any cooking or wash dishes after you apply the set. Just let that press-on set adhere to the nail for about 2 to 4 hours. I feel like I get the best longevity when I apply it right before bed, because then that dip base can just completely just like become a one with my nail. I just feel like I get a longer wear time if I avoid any of that cuticle oil or lotions, especially because what's going to happen is that lotions and the cuticle oil will break down that dip base. So just keep that in mind when you are applying press-ons. And when I do that method, if I apply them before bed, I can get about 2.5 weeks wear time when it comes to my press-on set using that method and the dip base. All right, so we're just going into Mint Meadows, which is the perfect spring minty goodness color. So I'm doing a very thin, even layer of gel base, and I'm not curing, and I'm dipping directly into that cupcake liner here, and then we're gonna tap off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spend some time pressing everything down just to make sure everything is laying super flat. But I love these colors so much. I think they're really fun. There's just something about the texture that just is like giving it all those spring vibes. All right, so enough chit chat. Let's see the rest of these colors here in action, and then I'm gonna pop back in just a few moments.
On a run from my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. That's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head off my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving. In the heat from my hot California, I forgot how you look like in rain. That's why I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head off my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving.
All right, now that we're done applying the last color, we're dusting off and we're gonna go ahead and file and buff. Now file and buff, all I had to do was just gently reshape ever so slightly and clean up that nail. And that is all I needed to do. Now I wanted to keep this nail looking like this textured color, giving it this perfect sugar-coated candy look. So since we use gels, this mani is good to go. I do not want to add any gel base or gel top coat to this because what's going to happen is we are going to lose this textured candy effect. And these powders are completely set because we did cure in between each coat. And here is our finished mani. We have the perfect springtime candy coated mani, and these colors are melting my whole heart. I will say there is something about these textured glitters that are just like fantastic. The illusion of that texture is there, but yet everything is still laying super, super flat. If you are not a textured person, this mani might not be for you because it's gonna feel a little bit rough. But you always could do a gel top coat and a gel base for a glossy finish, but it will definitely take away that illusion of having like those sugar coated nails. And no matter how you rock these colors with the sugar coated mani like we did today or a glossy finish, these colors are gonna look fantastic no matter what you do with them because they're just such great, just like pastel spring colors. All right, so everything that we did use in today's video can be found in that description box below. I hope you enjoyed our sugar coated nails today, and I'll see you all in the next one.